Yes, ready now. You can get it
Are you
started.
ready?
I'm ready.
Let
One
me know.
minute. I'm not ready. I need to put on my chain. But I'll be back. I just need to be first. Yeah, let's go.
I got up and said, "All right, I have to fix my hair." And you make it such a female thing. But you're allowed to get up and go put a chain on. What if I don't like my outfit?
Then go change it.
Okay, are you done? All wardrobe changes. Nothing
Yeah,
that I'm going to have to edit out later.
glam is all good. Glam is all good.
If it does glam,
A glam what?
when you go to an event and then you have all swag and then
Yeah.
what comes and it does that.
I never knew that. Is that the official name or you're just fucking?
If I find this on Google, can you see?
GlamBOT is a high-speed camera system directed by. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, but that's not.
Yeah. No. But no, I just made it up, right? And I got someone to upload it on Google and everything, right? Maybe you're just, I think you're just not as refined as I.
I've gone for so many tech events, so many conferences and stuff. Never have I heard, oh, Nnamdi, can we go and, take a video at the GlamBOT? Nothing like that. That events recently of like a very big tech company this week, and they had all their high executives there.
Which very big tech companies?
I'm not going to mention the name. Just know that they didn't have a GlamBOT. But the main thing is, they didn't even dress like this was not even a conference. This was them coming for a shoot. I had an artist of mine perform for them, and it's like they didn't even dress like they're coming to have fun.
I've also seen the things you wear, so I don't think I trust you as being the connoisseur of fashion. If I'm going to be fair honest. Just last night, you were wearing some black. You were wearing a black shirt with like white squiggle things on it.
Yeah.
And I was going to remark, but then I thought, nah, shit.
What were you going to say?
It looked like a child's chalkboard. Like you got it spelled out. They were running around.
It looked African. And that was the message I was trying to pass. And a lot of people got it. But apparently, my Dubai sellout didn't get it because she's now
Wait.
to get where I was going with.
No, you said that it looked kind of African. And if anything, I want to stop you for that comment. Because these days, anyone puts any colorful print and they'll be like, oh, it looks African. Or you'll wear like some beaded thing and they'll be like, oh, this kind of looks African.
I think rather than it being a stereotype, I also see it like people attribute style, taste to Africans. So when they see anything that looks fresh, looks different, and looks unique, they kind of say it looks African. I mean, sometimes maybe they might say it in the same breath as it be like stereotypical, but I see it that, oh, we're cool. But people like you, who is already a sellout,
definitely not a sellout. See, that's how you must worry about how I hustled the beads from the guy in the Kenyan store at the.
that is interesting.
No,
That is
but
your
he said I don't look South African.
How many Africans did you see at that market?
Working the market or inside the market? So obviously, if you mean working, no, obviously it's for tourists. It's for tourists. Explain to you what Global Village is because you're going to go on a tangent that's going to be 3 hours long. Global Village is like this amusement park, right? And it's literally supposed to be like you go around the world in this amusement park. So there are pavilions for America, Asia, Africa. You go into each pavilions and there's a store for each country. So I went to, for example, Thailand and Bangkok, and Iran and Turkey and Pakistan. So in the Africa pavilion, where a lot of touristy people were, there were lots of Africans there. Okay, selling their different products from the different countries. I was looking for a South Africa bracelets. And the guy says, sure, ma'am, no problem. And he gives me, and I'm like, right, this is not South Africa. He's like, no, take 20 dirham chips. I was like, I am from South Africa. He's like, no. He's like, you don't look South African. And I was like, oh, okay, sharp, once. Then I started putting the beats one. I was like, this is Tanzania, this is Ghana, this is Uganda, this is Zimbabwe, this is Zambia. That's like other tourist people that don't actually know Africa. And he's telling them,
Yes.
oh, here's this flag from wherever. This is a Zimbabwean flag. And they go back to their family in Scotland and show them,
Yeah.
oh, I bought this thing that's supposed to be the Zimbabwean flag. And it turns out it's like Zambia.
I'm sure there are people in Europe that don't know like some of the flags in the Nordics or flags in like less popular European countries or smaller European countries.
I know when a country's flag, it's you just want to make money and you're trying to sell me something that I'm trying to use inherently wrong. But it's fine because then I was like, sharp, okay, I want the Nigerian flag as well. That's like what the
Yeah.
2 bracelets. And
Yeah.
then because it was 20 dirhams each, I said, for your ignorance, both bracelets
Yeah.
are now 20 dirhams.
So
And I
in your
think-
mind, you felt like that was a good hackle. 20 dirhams.
And why did I get Nigeria? Why did I get Nigeria?
Because you want to be
You just want-
Nigerian. You want to be Nigerian so bad.
No, I thought of something that would remind me of you. But speaking of dreams and all the stuff that happened in the last week, we spent 16 minutes talking rubbish instead of introducing the fact that we are now on episode 3.
Yo,
our
it's episode 3.
podcast.
Yeah, it's glad to be on the number 3 on this experimental season. How many episodes are we doing this season?
7 more. And we'll be
Yeah.
at the end of the year where I would have spent almost the whole year in Dubai. We can also see whether I'm still because audiences won't know this because I'm always seeming like very happy when I speak. But like the last week, I had a very tough week. People are always busy. So if it's not South Africans and Nigerians, if it's not tech companies and labels, if it's not this and this, who answers
Yeah.
it?
The taking of sides, you know, we need to do these 2 things. You know, you spoke about the beefs happening. There's the Afrobeat beef happening, which was orchestrated. I was Rema's manager and I was telling him like, Rema started all this, right? The moment Rema tweeted, everything went off. So David and Wizkid, did you ever imagine that they will go at each other like the way they did?
No, I thought it would have happened last year.
When in December they were hanging out at parties together, did you feel like there was going to be a collaborative project at all as anticipated?
So
Do you think it's going to get physical or it's going to stay online?
I think it's down.
Do you think Burna Boy will join in on this?
I think he's got other things to do.
Well,
think-
do
I
you
think
think
the
that they don't have what to do themselves? I wrote to you.
I hate you so much.
Okay,
But you asked me about abstract beefs that we don't know.
but I feel like it's a blessing and a curse. It's just that sometimes you never know where these beefs kind of like escalates to. I think for like a Drake and a
What do you
Kendrick one, because I mean, you know how Biggie and Pac one went, it ended up like costing them both their lives. So it's like, although I don't think beefs get kind of like physical like that, it could be good commercially also because just look at Euphoria, for instance. Euphoria, what? I mean, first they did like almost 10 million streams on Spotify.
The funny thing about Euphoria is that Drake had to release 2 diss tracks first, right? Because he felt like Kendrick was taking way too long to come to the parties. And I
Yeah.
think that hadn't fueled to the point, which is why it became so extreme. But it's funny because Davido and Wizkid, it was always like bubbling, right?
Yeah.
And there might have always been something there. It felt like it came out of nowhere, but it was bubbling from something. Whereas it feels like in hip hop, especially with Kendrick and Drake and Future, and, J. Cole and the whole gang, they're always saying
Crazy.
other. We're waiting for someone to just stir this pot, right? Whereas I think
Yeah.
one really felt like a shake-up because I think you always think that people have this camaraderie and they wouldn't get
Yeah.
into that. Whereas in hip hop, that's the name of the game.
We've been doing these comparisons with hip hop and Afrobeats, and I'm kind of like trying to work on a paper for it also. It's like the genres are so similar. I think I even mentioned it like in our last episode, but down to even the beef thing, we can see when we are saying the Drake and Kendrick, we can easily relate it to Wiz and Davido. You know, they are talking about ghostwriters in the beef. Wiz is also talking about ghostwriters in his Bayfa.
Am I dissing ghosts or AI? What did Kendrick say?
I just heard it for the first time this morning, just because I've not had the time to actually like digest it. Even like Drake's one, I kind of like most of those records. I hear it on Twitter, not even on like streaming platforms, because
You are the demographic when his manager comes and says they want to do a Twitter campaign. You are the demographic.
I definitely am. Like it's so bad, like me just being like sentimental about the platform. But in terms of like music marketing, I feel like Twitter is more influential to actually converting people to fans, to get people to care about things and to get people to lend their opinions about things. I feel like Twitter has more effect. There are so many people that have their voice. So you're reading someone's tweet and you can have 10,000 people reading that tweet in 10,000 voices because it's just delivered by words. Sometimes you don't know the tone. Sometimes you don't know how that person is feeling. It feels unique to you. That's how I feel it is with Twitter. So if Wizkid was to come on video and start saying, yo, Davido, this, or Davido was going to say, oh, you're delusional, it won't hit as hard as the way you see it in text. Because you see it in all caps, so you see this thing and you're like, shit.
So it does hit a little bit different when you start seeing those tweets with the exclamation marks. So I suppose if you like drama, which I suppose you are, but then
I don't like drama.
Sense.
I don't like drama.
You do like
I just feel like there's a lot.
Can I just tell our audience that we stopped recording our episode last time and that we spent 1.5 hours gossiping about our colleagues and things like that. Before you say, oh, I don't like drama, you gossiped with me after we recorded our episode for 1.5 hours. You watched me make, eat, and wash the plates when I was done telling you my story. You love drama.
Do you have evidence to back up that claim? No, you don't have evidence because it was all you spilling out incriminating facts and information. And I noted all that down. And I'm going to get it to the hands of the right authorities.
If you and I were in a beef right now, do you understand how like it would even be like someone would find a way to politicize it as well, right? They would make it like a Nigeria, some Africa thing. They'd make it a xenophobia thing. They would make it a. Do you see what I mean? Like how people take beefs and they'll make it into. It becomes like this, like it'll escalate into something like free. You know who would be Burna Boy, aka. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now at this point that I will let you know that Nnamdi, for all the digital innovation that he's brought in his career, flopped and accidentally corrupted the ending part of his video. So we couldn't upload it to the podcast. As awkward as this is going to be, you're not going to hear the rest of our recording, but just as audio. I also think maybe though it's a blessing in disguise because editing this is so hard already. Imagine having to stare at his face for so many hours. I'm just saying, maybe God is shining down on me.
The thing about Burna Boy and AK1 is Burna Boy wasn't as big as he is right now. It was more like AK at that time, beefing with Roga right now. If it's Burna Boy right now and AK, God bless his, oh shit, AK could have been smoked.
The one thing I want to say is that I've made my whole career in music, right? I don't see myself doing anything else. Sometimes we have to remember that it's music.
I feel there are certain points in my life or there's certain times in my day, I'm just down. And sometimes it's music that gets me.
And you kill for
people kill for money and stuff.
We're talking about people in the music industry and how, if I think about these deaths that have happened in South Africa, they're all music people. Nobody's gunning down accountants.
It wasn't not the CEO of a tech company that was hacked down in New York or so. And it wasn't the music. I'm just saying, if you notice some of the deaths are not around the music itself. You don't see me driving by Universal and shooting someone and now they're
10 to 1, you'll phone me about the board meeting. And then I'll be like,
you have to also understand, like, we working behind the scene. I can basically get into a room. I'm not that popular, except it's people that are already noticed in the industry that know maybe I'm affiliated with certain artists or certain projects. I can walk into a room and nobody knows that I've worked on this artist. I've worked on this campaign. and everyone is singing. I'm like, okay. And people are going crazy for Jungle. And I'm like, yo, I know when this album was delivered. I know when we started working like the first release and stuff. And it's different. But the artists, they're like the face of the art. They perform the shows. They go for the meet and greets. They have the socials that people like their stuff. Thousands, millions of people view their stuff. So it gets to that point where you now feel like you're
Oh,
immortal,
yes.
invisible, like you're a god. We can't really feel that because we sometimes have to explain to people that we were on that record. But then it's every room they get into, people are like, oh, I love you so much. I love this work. You're a genius. They go through every day having to hear 20 to 50 to 100 people tell them how good they are. It happens in such a short time, especially with this with TikTok right now. It's you don't have people that go through 5 years of development or 5 years of grinding to get to that point. So they don't even know how to manage it.
I've worked with almost every type of creative that you could get. And I think it's why I don't want to, because my artists and my actors back then always felt like the kids. I feel very protective sometimes of my artists, that we've got their dream, that they've worked so hard on.
I'm only in the UK right now because of this podcast. So I feel like we need to be in the diaspora to actually drive this conversation and talk about it. But as soon as we're done with this project, I'll move back to Nigeria. And I hope you have your bags packed by then. Because I'm not taking no excuses.
What you like last note before we go? Kendrick, without a doubt, a complete fan of Kendrick.
You don't need to be the best rapper.
Yeah.
You just have to say the funniest shit, the corniest shit, and give the hardest jabs. Because also, a lot of people listening to this on the commercial level won't go very grand. So there are a lot of people even right now saying, oh, I never knew that Kendrick meant this. But Drake is the very surface rapper. You understand it. Kendrick is more technical, he's more deep. And with these tracks, sometimes surface level takes that head start over something deep.
Okay, so next episode, can you bring me your diss track?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Lyrically,
that's how we should shoot.
I'm
this
very
person
sure I'm
before, but I
corny.
promise.
No, you might be cornier than I am, but I'm funnier. You make jokes for Wall Street employees. I make jokes for the streets. Means you're bougie and white as fuck.